This is a lesson in a series about using Lazarus and Free Pascal, either for programming on a desktop computer or for cross-platform programming, say by writing a program on Windows, then running it on Linux. To follow this series from the start, use the playlist whose link is down below. And today I'm going to cover the essentials of Pascal syntax. You'll need to know this whether you're a beginner programmer or an experienced programmer in some other language. Now, in the next lesson in this series, I'll start to look at cross-platform development. So be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified when I upload new lessons. Okay, without more ado, let's see some Pascal code. First, I create a basic console application, so that's project, new project, and simple program. Click OK. Now I'll save this to disk and call it Pascal syntax. So here I'm now writing a program that's going to run at the command prompt. I start writing some code, but this is going to take a little while, so here's one I prepared earlier. Okay, so let me go very quickly through this code to highlight the important bits, the bits you'll need to understand when you write your own Pascal programs. I should point out that in this lesson I'm showing standard Pascal without object orientation. That's because it's simpler to understand if you're new to Pascal. Later I'll also explain the object-oriented features of the Object Pascal language, but before I get around to that, you'll need to be comfortable with the core language features that I'll explain now. Now the words here shown in bold, like program and begin and end, well, they're all keywords or reserved words. These are words that have a special meaning in the language. They're predefined by Pascal. For example, the program keyword, well, that is put at the start of your program and is followed by a program name like this one, which you can choose yourself. Begin and end are keywords that are used to mark off blocks of code. Now, the main code shown down here, this block down here, well, that's enclosed between a begin and an end. And the code inside these procedures up here, for example, this one here, that also is marked off between begin and end. In many other languages like C, C# and Java, blocks of code are enclosed between curly brackets, whereas begin and end are used in Pascal. Curly brackets in Pascal are used to enclose comments like this. You see, that's a comment between curly brackets. And you can also enclose your code between pairs of parentheses, open parenthesis and then asterisk and close parenthesis. Those comments can span multiple lines, and you can nest one sort of comment inside another if you wish. You can also have single line comments, similar to in many other languages like this one, and those start with these double slash characters. And now comes the var section. That's where I declare variables. Now, these are identifiers to which values can be assigned. Each variable has a type, such as a string or an integer. Here I've got a variable called sum, and it's been declared to have the type integer. And so it's the variable name. The syntax is var to start declaring variables, then the variable name, a colon, the data type, and then finish with a semicolon. I can declare as many variables in the variable section as I need, and if several variables have the same type, they can be declared as a comma-separated list. Now we come to the actual executable code. Code is written in named blocks that can be preceded either with the keyword procedure or with the keyword function. When a value is returned, you need the keyword function. And you can see a value is returned down here as the result. When no value is returned, then you use procedure. Procedure is a subroutine that runs when some other piece of code calls it, but doesn't return a value. In C or other C-like languages, that would be like a function whose return value is void. Now, if a procedure takes arguments, that is, if some bits of data are passed to it, then those arguments are received in the form of named parameters. Now, here you can see two integer arguments. Two integer arguments have been passed down here. And if I look up at the multiply function, they're received as these two named parameters, also declared to be of type integer. So just like variable declarations, I can write a comma-separated list of parameters of the same type followed by a colon. The parameters are enclosed by parentheses. The type of data returned by a function follows the colon. So here this function returns an integer, and then again I put a semicolon at the end. Then the actual code of the function runs between begin and end. A value to be returned by the function can be assigned to a special result variable. Alternatively, you can assign the return value to the name of the function. I could do this. That's rather a sort of a more traditional way of doing it. I'll use result for the time being. When a procedure or function has no argument, you don't need to put parentheses after its name, either here in the implementation or here when calling it. You can add parentheses if you prefer. I could. It's quite legal to do this, but it's not needed. The same is true for built-in procedures such as readlin. Here readlin waits until the user presses the enter key. Notice that one of my functions has its own var section. In Pascal you have to declare variables before you use them, as I said earlier. The scope of the variable here, that is, where it's available for use, depends exactly on where it's declared. The sum variable up here is global to this entire program, so it's visible to all my code. But the num variable down here is only visible inside the multiply function, so it's local to that function. Variables in Pascal must be declared in a section followed by the var keyword. You can't just scatter variable declarations around in amongst lines of code as you can in C or Java, for example. Now, there are lots more things to be said about Pascal syntax, and I'll explain more of them later on in this series as we come across them. There are, however, two really important things that you need to know from the start, especially if you're used to programming in some other language. First of all, Pascal is not case sensitive. Most languages these days are. So in C or C#, for example, when a variable is declared in lowercase, it must be used subsequently in lowercase. But in Pascal, I can declare num all in lowercase, and then I can write it in uppercase, or a mixture of upper and lowercase, or whatever I want to. And similarly, some people prefer Reitlin with W, capital L, and so on. That's all valid. The other thing that may confuse you if you're used to other languages is the assignment operator. Now, in Pascal, that's colon equals, as you can see down here. Now, here the code assigns the value returned by the multiply function to the sum variable. If I want to test for equality, that is, if I want to say, is something equal to something else, I would use a simple equals. Here's an example. Notice that when I test a value, I don't have to put the test in parentheses. Again, that's something that you may be used to in other languages. But I do have to put it between the keywords if and then. If the test is true, the next line of code executes. Or I could put one or more lines between begin and end, and all of those lines would execute after the if test. And finally, this block of code down here runs when the program itself runs. It's like the main function in C. It begins with the begin keyword, ends with the end keyword, and terminates with a period or a full stop. Okay, that's plenty to get you started with Pascal. In the next lesson, I'll explain how to go about writing a Pascal program on Windows, and then running it on another computer and another operating system. In fact, I'll show how to develop a Windows program with Lazarus and then compile and run it on a Raspberry Pi computer, like this one, this little Raspberry Pi computer. Okay, so remember to subscribe to my channel to get all the latest updates, and I'll see you again soon.